Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Anisa Triani. I'm from the B class of English Literature Department. And in this video, we are gonna learn how to translate a text from English into Indonesian. But before we start it, we should know what is the definition of translation itself. So, according to Newmark defines the translation as rendering the meaning of a text into another language in the way that the author intended the text. This explanation gives special importance on decoding the meaning of text in the source language, then decoding the meaning into the text in the target language by still maintaining the author's intention. In addition, according to Hatim and Mundai, they also define translation as the process of transferring a written text from source language into target language. This definition describes translation as a process of changing the form of text in the source language into the text in the target language. So, in conclusion, translation is changing a text from one language to another while keeping the original meaning. And then, in the translation process, Newmark categorized 8 translation methods. There are word-for-word translation, literal, faithful, semantic, adaptation, free, idiomatic, and the last is communicative translation. Here, as you guys can see, I took the text from a novel titled Robinson Crusoe. Here is the novel. So, Robinson Crusoe is an adventure book written by Daniel Defoe, and it was first published on April 2025, 1719, and the story is about a young Englishman named Robinson Crusoe. He becomes a sailor and has many adventures. But one day, his ship gets wrecked, and he ends up alone on an empty island. And then he has to learn how to survive by himself. Okay, let's start. Here I have sentence that say, I went hunting every morning. I went hunting every morning. I translated into aku pergi berburu setiap pagi. I translated this sentence using literal method because the original sentence from source language is simple, and I think I can directly translate this sentence into the target language, and the text or the translation can still be understood can still be understood well by the target readers, because the structure of the original sentence is simple, and it can directly translate it into source language. And then next, to my delight, I found there were gods on the island. To my delight, I translated into yang membuatku senang. I use semantic translation because rather than I translated as untuk kesenanganku, or using word for word translation, I think it will be more natural in target language or in Indonesia if I translate it as yang membuatku senang rather than untuk kesenanganku. So I use semantic translation in to translate this sentence. To my delight, I found there were gods on the island. Into yang membuatku senang, aku menemukan ada banyak kambing di pulau ini. And then I shoot some for food and tried unsuccessfully to tame a kid. Here I translate this sentence into aku memburu beberapa kambing untuk dimakan dan mencoba menjinakkan seekor anak kambing, tetapi gagal. In this sentence, I use a free translation. So a free translation method is used in this sentence to convey the meaning in a more free way, and I use this method to make it more in line with how it's expressed in Indonesian. Instead of I translated using word for word, I think it will be more effective if I translate it using my own my own my own my own knowledge but without changing the meaning or the information, but the contraction of structure in the sentence it's kind of different in target language. And then to keep track of time, I kept a diary. I translated the sentence into untuk melacak waktu. Aku menulis sebuah diary. So I use communicative translation method. I chose this method because I want to focus on conveying the message from the social language into target language in a way that will sound more natural to the target language. So instead of I use literal translation or word for word translation, I translated I kept a diary into aku menulis sebuah diary. So it will it will sound more natural in the target language or in Indonesian, and the sentence also adapted to be more familiar to Indonesian readers. And then the last is you're the fortunate one. Think of what happened to the rest of the crew. I translated into kamu adalah orang yang beruntung. Pikirkan apa yang sudah terjadi pada awak kapal lainnya. In this sentence, I use idiomatic translation because I want to make sure that the original message is conveyed with words that are more suitable or common in Indonesian, and I also want to make the meaning more clear for the target readers, even though there are some adjustment from the source language. So you're the fortunate one. Think of what happened to the rest of the crew. I Translate it as kamu adalah orang yang beruntung. Pikirkan apa yang sudah terjadi pada awak kapal lainnya. In this sentence, I use idiomatic translation to make it uh, to make it more to make the meaning more clearer for the target readers. So in conclusion, a different translation method can help change a text from one language to another, even though some method keeps the original words, but some methods also focus more on the meaning. But the goal is same. The goal is to make sure that the message is clear and easy to understand for the new readers. And it's important to pick the best way to share the author's ideas or the author's intention in the target language. Okay, maybe that's all for me. I'm really sorry if there was many mistakes I've made or maybe some error pronunciation. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.